Welcome to Sudbury Sports Unbiased, your source for no-spin coverage on the Sudbury Wolves, Sudbury 5, Sudbury Cyclones, and Sudbury Cubs with Rick and Craig. Hello, sports fans. Craig here, and today we're going to review the Day 2 selections for the Sudbury Wolves in the 2026 OHL Priority Selections, which were held in Kingston yesterday, Saturday afternoon. The Wolves made 14 picks in all, and we're going to review each of those picks. We're going to give you the specifics, heights, weights, statistics, and where they fit on the team, I believe, going forward. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. In round 2 with pick 25, the Sudbury Wolves selected Ivan Belikov. He is a gentleman from Parkland, Florida, a left defenseman. He's huge, 6'3" and 1/2 inches. 205 pounds. Ivan Belikov last year played for the U16 champion Detroit Honeybaked. He played 70 games, 7 goals, 24 assists, 31 points. This guy is a large human being. That's how I'll say it. And this guy could be a physical force. This was a good value pick for the Wolves, and he could be a potential number 1 pair defenseman on a team that desperately needs defensive help. In the third round, the Wolves had 3 picks, and pick number 1 in the third round, number 44 overall, from the Brampton Steelheads, was Shaden Hindenburger. And Hindenburger is a left defenseman. He is 6'3", 192 pounds. He hails from beautiful Port Colborne, Ontario. Last year, he played for Hill Academy. If you're wondering where Hill Academy is, it's down south, and Tanner Adams played for that team. In 57 games, he had 5 goals, 30 assists, 35 points. In the OHL Cup Showcase, in 5 games, he had 5 assists. I had a chance to review this gentleman, and he was number 3 on the rating system that I use, and I think this is high for this player. Hindenburger is a project. He has all of the essential ingredients. He has height, he has weight, he's got some skill, he's got some skating mobility, but he is not a refined package. This guy needs considerable development time, and I think this guy will not make the Wolves coming out of training camp. I would be surprised. He's likely ticketed for some time at Tier 2. Whether he'll turn out to be anything is a great question, but the tools are there. The Wolves have to hope that people like Drake Parahowski can help this young man reach his full potential. If he can, the Wolves may have a very good player. If not, they may have a guy who can be a contributing part of their defense. With their second third-round pick, number 49 overall, acquired from the Owen Sound Attack, the Wolves selected Ronan Quinn, a right winger from Stouffville, Ontario. Quinn is a big boy, 6'2", 190 pounds. And last year, he played for the Markham Majors. In 27 games, he had 12 goals and 15 assists. He also notably had 60 penalty minutes. This gentleman is a decent player, number 37 on the ranking system that I used, and this guy excels on the boards. This guy is a good board player. He uses his size well. He can get inside. A guy who could be effective. There is one major knock on Ronan Quinn, and that is that his skating needs improvement. To me, that is a major red flag. I don't like the idea that a player just cannot skate proficiently. Bottom line in today's hockey, if you can't skate, you can't play. I don't care what kind of attributes you have. I don't care what your intangibles are. You can't skate, you can't play. It's as simple as that. The Wolves had one final third-round selection, number 54 overall, acquired from the Peterborough Petes, and they acquired Luke Lawson, a 6'3" and 3/4 inch, 208-pound goaltender from Aurora, Ontario. This young man is a quality goaltender, and he played last year for the Mississauga Reps U16 AAA. Luke Lawson, I don't have any stats for him. You have to understand that sometimes, depending on the organization, these numbers are not published. But take it from me, I saw a video on this young man. He is a large person, and he covers a lot of the net. This guy could be a future Wolves goaltender. In the fourth round, 66th overall, the Wolves took Garrett Sutton, He is a 6'2", 210-pound right defenseman from Livonia, Michigan. For those of you who don't know where Livonia, Michigan is, it is just outside of Detroit. Last year, Garrett Sutton played for the BioSteel U16s. He had 1 goal and 17 assists in 56 games. He also had 95 minutes in penalties. So looking at that profile, we're looking at a physical defenseman with very little offensive upside. This is a guy that I do not think is a good pick. Defensive upside and very little offense. This is your prototypical Rob Papineau defenseman. And I think this young man projects as a number 5 or 6 defenseman. The problem with this man is that he fits the profile of about 4 or 5 people already on the Wolves roster. So we really haven't improved the position by drafting Garrett Sutton. The Wolves' next pick was Cole Krotner, and he was pick number 67 overall. He comes from Stittsville, Ontario. He is a right winger. Last year, Cole Krotner played for the Ottawa Valley Titans. He had 18 goals and 32 assists in 31 games. He also had 53 minutes in penalties. In the showcase, he played in 1 game with no scoring points. This young man is a decent player, but he has a major knock against him, and again, he does not skate particularly proficiently. I cannot emphasize enough how big a detriment I think this is for a player's development. He may have a possibility of playing for the Wolves at some time, but I don't think that will be next season. This young man needs to get further development time, probably in a Tier 2 league, and he frankly needs to improve his skating to be on the radar for the Sudbury Wolves. The next pick for the Wolves was in the 5th round, number 83 overall, and they took Brody Scholes, a right wing from Canada, Ontario. And Brady Scholes last season played for the Ottawa Myers Auto team. He had 13 goals and 9 assists in 32 games. This, in my view, is not a good pick for the team. This is not a player that to me has a great deal of offensive upside. Again, has a problem with his skating. Again, this young man needs development time in Tier 2, and he will get that opportunity more than likely. The next pick for the Wolves, number 86 overall in the 5th round, was Mason Druin. He is a right defenseman out of Orchard Park, New York. So in Orchard Park, New York, any Buffalo Bills fan will know that's the home base for the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, Rob Papineau might be angling to get some Buffalo Bills tickets. Mason Druin is a right shooting defenseman. He is 6 feet, 3/4 of an inch, and he weighs 173 pounds. In the 2026 regular season, he played with Nichols, under 16, 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points, 64 minutes and penalties. In the OHL Cup Showcase, in 5 games, he had 1 goal and 3 assists for 4 points. He was a +5. Again, we have the same type of defender acquired by Rob Papineau that we already have a ton of. And I just don't think this guy is going to be an impactful player. I think his ceiling is as a 3rd pairing defenseman. He can spend another year developing his game. The Wolves did not then have a pick until the 8th round, and in that round, they selected Cohen O'Neill, a goaltender, right-catching goaltender, in fact, from Whitby, Ontario. Last season, he played for the Markham Majors. He played in 17 games. He had a .920 save percentage. In the OHL Cup Showcase, in 2 games, he had a .905 save percentage. This guy is another quality goaltender, and this man could be a factor in the Wolves net in the future. In the 9th round, pick 166 overall, the Wolves selected Alex Dvorak out of Fort Myers, Florida. If that name is familiar, it should be. This young man is the son of Radek Dvorak, a longtime NHL player. Alex Dvorak is a left defenseman, 6'1", 150 pounds. There's one big knock on this young man, and that is, I don't know how in the world a 150-pound player plays defense and plays competitively in the OHL. This guy needs to grow. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he really does need to fill out. In 2025-2026, He played for the Florida Alliance 16s. He had 4 goals and 20 assists in 37 games. In the playoffs in 4 games, he had 4 assists. I'm not expecting Dvorak to come to Sudbury, but if he does, I think he has long odds of making an impact with this team. In the 10th round, the Wolves drafted Cameron Gout, 196th overall. He is a left winger from Caledon, Ontario. Gout is a late birth date, born October 2nd, 2010. Last season, Gout played for the Credit River Capitals. He had 14 goals and 18 assists for 32 points in 34 games. I like the look of this young man. I like his offensive ability. Scoring a point a game was decent value at this stage in the draft. He's a little smallish, 5'9" 3/4" but a solid 178 pounds. If he grows, I think this guy could be a guy who could make an impact for the Wolves. He is a late birth date, so he may get some further development from the team down the line. In the 11th round, the Wolves picked number 206th overall, and with that selection, they drafted Ryan Ufterhalde, a left defenseman from Mars, Pennsylvania. For those Wolves historians, Mars, Pennsylvania should be familiar. This is the hometown of former Sudbury Wolf, Evan Conyon. This young man is extremely small. He is 5'9" 1/4", weighs 147 pounds, and my understanding that is a generous weight for this player. In 2025-2026, he played for the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite 15 team. He had 9 goals and 40 assists in 54 games. I really do not rate this pick. I am not a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite team. Why do I say that? Well, you Wolves people will know that there was a certain player that came to the Wolves from this organization, and that is Luca Blonda, who has not even come close to fulfilling expectations to date. I think this guy is a complete waste of time. The other guy that recently came from the Pittsburgh Penguins elite team was a gentleman named Nicholas Rosato, also from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, like Luca Blonda, but unfortunately, he's been as big a bust as Luca Blonda. So I don't rate this pick because I really don't rate this team whatsoever as far as developing prospects. The Wolves had a couple of more picks in the draft, and in round 12, they drafted Ryland DaCosta, 226th overall. He is yet another goaltender. He is 6'1.5", weighs 170 pounds. He comes from West Lorne, Ontario. In 2025-2026, he played for Huron Perth in the Alliance U16. In 16 games, he posted a 1.74 goals against average. In the OHL Club Showcase, in 2 games, he posted a 3.04 goals against average and a .912 save percentage. Now, I have no problem with this goaltender. He is once again a quality goaltender, but I really need to tell you that I have great difficulty with what was done with this draft board as far as goaltenders. The Wolves already have 3 goaltenders on the varsity, namely Bjorn Bronis, Paolo Frasca, and Leonard. They have now added 3 more to that goaltending stable, along with the second-round pick they acquired in the U18 draft. That makes 7. And then we talk about Mateo Bates, who is a Wolves draft pick from a couple of seasons ago. Now we have 8 goaltenders. Now, the last time I checked in hockey, you could only play 1 goaltender at a time. And if you go with the rotation, you play 2 goaltenders at a time. Here is the problem with this, and there are 2 problems. First of all, where do all these young prospects play? It's a problem because you have to find a landing spot where they're going to get playing time. No 16-year-old is going to be content being a backup. These guys all need to play. Here's the other difficulty is that when you send these guys out to Tier 2 or wherever you send them, they're going to say, hey, if they had a good year, I deserve to play. I deserve to make this team. Well, even if you get rid of Bjorn Bronis and Paolo Frasca, now you've got 4 young goaltenders for 2 positions. This doesn't make a lot of sense. there's going to be two very unhappy goaltenders because they will not fit with the Sudbury Wolves. Here's the unknown problem that most people don't understand. If you have two goaltenders that are good sitting in tier 2, how do you unlock the trade value for these goaltenders when you need to trade them because you have a glut at the position? The problem is that you don't, and then you lose the value of the choice that you made a year or two previous. The Wolves had one other selection in the 13th round, number 246 overall. With that selection, they drafted Bryson McCoy, a center from Belleville, Ontario. Bryson McCoy is 6 feet 2 inches and he weighs 180 pounds. There are no stats available on this player. For those of you who are keen, Bryson McCoy is the brother of Donovan McCoy, who played here in Sudbury and was the team captain for the Wolves. So there you have it. Those are the 15 picks selected by the Sudbury Wolves in the priority selections. I'm going to give you my overall impression of this draft class. If I was grading the Sudbury Wolves for what they did on Friday and Saturday, I would grade them a C-. Now, that is not a particularly good grade, but I'm going to explain it to you, hopefully in a way that everyone can understand. Cash Kawaja is absolutely no guarantee to come to Sudbury. In fact, I believe he's going to be traded. The question is only when is Cash Kawaja going to be traded? Is he going to report? I don't know, but I do believe he's going to be traded. The reason that I say this is because his older brother, Jet Kawaja, was signed by the Brantford Bulldogs, and I can see a reunion with the Kawajas at some point in the future. So I'm very skeptical that pick number 5 will ever see the ice at the Sudbury Arena as a home team player. There were some good picks in this draft, one of them being Belikov, and the goaltenders are all quality goaltenders, providing that Rob Papineau can get himself through the maze of the glut that he's created at the position. One of the things that I really take the Wolves to task for is that they have not addressed reasonably the offensive needs of this team. This team last season scored 3.1 goals per game. That is a below average offense. To be a 500 team or better, you must score probably a minimum of 3.5 goals per game. That is the benchmark. And I am not sure how the Wolves are going to get there. There is no forward on this draft board that leaps out at me and says, I am going to cure your offensive ills. And it's going to be a problem because this team has never been airtight defensively. So because of that, and because of what happened with Cash Kawaja and his uncertainty, I must take this team to task and I must give them a lower grade than you may expect. I'm going to give them a C-. And I'm going to explain to you something that I found out that is important as far as Cash Kawaja goes. Cash Kawaja does not report to the Sudbury Wolves. The Sudbury Wolves will receive a compensation pick. The compensation pick they will receive is number 6 overall in the first round next season. In addition, if Kawaja is traded, they will also receive the package from the trading team. Now, I want to give you a concrete example so that you understand the nature of the package that Cash Kawaja could fetch on the open market. 4 years ago, Sam Dickinson was drafted by the Niagara Ice Dogs. He was later traded to the London Knights. The Knights sent the Ice Dogs 3 second-round picks, 3 third-round picks, and a 5th-round pick. So the package that comes back for Kawaja will likely be considerable, and that does not include the compensatory draft pick. So that's a wrap on the Sudbury Wolves priority selections for 2026. And I wish all of these draftees well, and I'm hopeful to see all of them at the prospect orientation camp next week here in the Nickel City. And as we say on this show, if you like what you're hearing, hit like and subscribe, and let the sports be with you.